I decided to do a training experiment live on stream, taking two schedules and putting them against each other using one squad. The goal was simple: what kind of training schedule will produce the best results? One schedule only has 2 match practices and a heck of a lot of rest time. Perfect for lazy bums like me. And another one is more balanced. It has 9 sessions instead of 2, and it has 4 recovery sessions to reduce the impact of injuries. Which schedule came out tops? So, how do we measure success? Well, we had to set up some conditions for this experiment. First, it had to be done in a live stream format. We took Stuttgart as a club that's in the Bundesliga, making sure there are no players on loan. That kept everybody in the club using the facilities that are provided. We also made sure no other leagues were playable. We gave this club the best training facilities and the best coaches. We also set up a tactic for this team that they could use based on the players they had in the squad. To make this as realistic as possible to our gaming experience, we changed no attributes, we changed no personalities. We wanted to use the same team and compare that team to itself. We're going to give them their roles that they're going to train in. I like stamina work rate, no? That's my favorite. So if I see this, right, I get very annoyed. Yeah. I normally don't do this. Normally what I do is I actually look at the players' attributes to determine what they need. Yeah, even a goalkeeper, we're just gonna make everybody do quickness. Okay. Okay, so we'll just come in here, custom, preseason, heavy mid. Okay. This one is so actually heavy early is good, no? They got heavy early already, so leave it. All right, here we'll do heavy mid as well. Heavy mid done. Okay. And then this one will be heavy late. Okay, done. Stick the calendar in. Right. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna compare that to a balanced training program. And the first simulation we're gonna run is one where the training is pretty cool. We've done a bit of a preseason, but once the regular season starts, all they're doing is match practice, match practice. We set everything up. There's no mentoring. We moved our players into the right units. Let's make sure that is happening. So we're going to make sure everything is kosher. We got no funky stuff happening. Yeah. We're going to simulate one season with the match practice only training schedule. Now let's go set up the other training schedule, the balanced training schedule. Okay, so we're going to come in here. Now we're going to make a new schedule. All right, so this one is going to be different, right? This is going to be a new schedule that we're going to create, right? So I'm going to add transition restrict because this has got concentration and it's for both units. So I'm going to put this on this day as well. Technical, transition restrict. Then I'm going to have physical recovery here and physical recovery here. All right, so to all intents and purposes, this is pretty balanced, right? So it's got 2 match practices, the same thing that the other one had. But now we've added a few more sessions. But overall, it's actually a very light schedule. This is super light. If you look at the injury risk, is basically quite flat. Right? If you want to make it even lower, I just come inside here and I go, hey baby, bring on the injury risk for me. Will you? There we go. How much injury risk do you want? Boom. I don't like it when my players get a chance of injury. I don't like it. That's as much as you can do. Okay, so physical. So we done rest. There's plenty there, right? So we're gonna save this and stick this in. So we're gonna make it very fair. Okay, there we go. Another one here. We're gonna put in recovery, and that's it. Right, done. Hopefully it works. Go, let's go. Hopefully it works. Hopefully I didn't forget anything else. I hate to have to go back and do it again. No. Basically, I'm comparing training programs. So I got match practice one only, which only has 2 sessions of match practice with quickness. And the second one is we have a balanced training schedule, and we want to compare the development of some of the players. In general, if you wanted to do any kind of a training simulation exercise, you want to do it over 5 seasons, but this is a live stream. I don't think anybody would have stuck around if I was going to do 5 seasons. Anyway, training results usually are the best after 1 season. So it was pretty simple. We wanted to do an easy experiment, do it over 1 season, compare the results. Let's see what comes out tops. One player stood out, Angelo Stiller, with a greater than 10 change in current ability. Most of the other squad, CA change of 108 to 1112, which is about 4. 128 to 130 for Enzo Milo. But if you go down the list, you'll notice quite a few of those players like 1 or 2 changes in CA. Okay, it's not bad. Yes, there was some improvement in the squad. Players above the age of like 26, 27, 28, yeah, they hardly showed any changes in CA, with the exception of about two players. With the balanced training schedule, clear difference here. 61 was the number for the total CHH for the entire squad. Now that compares to only 37 for the first schedule. And on top of that, we had at least two players showing greater than 10 in terms of CA change, and quite a few players in the squad showing moderate changes of more than 5 in terms of CA, and a few of them between 1 to 4. Now, I was pretty happy with the balanced training schedule because it showed that it is possible for you to get decent development out of an average squad that you will find in the game Football Manager. Looking at the numbers is pretty clear. You can definitely go through an entire season training very minimally. However, the growth is not going to be exceptional. Whereas if you were to focus on the squad and use a balanced training schedule for them, then there is a stronger chance that that squad will develop in a much better way. I always found the game of Football Manager interesting because there's one word that has been bandied around since the days of Championship Manager. Keeping things balanced seems to find you the best success in the game, and nothing can be further from the truth than with training. So if you want to find success with training, keep things balanced, and it works with the training schedules as well. So when it comes to training schedules, I like to keep things really simple. The most valuable ones are these: match practice, because by far they are the best bang for buck, and you can only have 2 in a week. Then the second best ones are actually these balanced ones. They fall in the general category. I tend to pick either outfield, attacking, defending, or even tactical and physical, and I'll stick a few of these in a week. Most I have like 4 in a week. Finally, transition restrict, which I value very highly because this is the one session that hits both the attacking and the defensive unit with equal importance. And on top of that, concentration is an attribute that is focused on in this session. Finally, if I feel that concentration is an attribute that I need more of for the defending unit, then I'll include aerial defense. Again, concentration, heading, marking, positioning, and technique are fantastic attributes for defenders too. Now, what about preseason? Preseason is actually the easiest one to do because all you need to do is use SI's bespoke preseason schedules. And you can actually go into the game and you have a few bespoke ones that SI have created that are really good. All you got to do is follow a certain rule. For the first 2 weeks, you want to choose heavy early. For the third and the fourth week, you want to choose heavy mid. And for the final week, you want to choose heavy late. That's all you got to do. And make sure that during this period of time, your rest is set to normal intensity so you don't increase the risk of injury. Once preseason is over, come down to your intensity and set it to double intensity, and then start using your training schedule that you would have created by now, which can be balanced, or if you're inclined to, use the match practice ones. There are plenty of ways to play the game. If you're the sort of person that doesn't want to train your players in the week, go ahead, enjoy it. That's the kind of football that you like. Great thing about that approach is you're never going to get training injuries. And then, of course, you've got the other guy who wants to develop his players because he wants to keep producing Lionel Messi's in his little squad. And he might want to have a more customized training schedule where he can control the development of his players and the distribution of the attributes. Now, of course, if that is his fancy, you can find success at the game too. So when it comes to Football Manager, many ways to play the game. You need to find the way that makes you the happiest, because I know what that is for me. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and you found it useful. Once again, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the video, and I will see you very, very soon. Meanwhile, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. I'm out of here.